Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark has been named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. So the award, which has been distributed since 2019, Clark becomes the first WNBA player to ever win this award.
Following Caitlin Clark's victory as the Athlete of the Year, Instant Karma takes on Angel Reese, the self-declared queen of college basketball's drama department. And yes, she is the same Caitlin Clark after winning Time's Athlete of the Year. Caitlin Clark reportedly addressed a rivalry with Angel Reese in a story released by Amber Ryken, which said that Angel was notably ridiculed during the NCAA championship game.
When I started my last college season and not knowing if that would actually be my last season, whether I was deciding to come back to college or turn pro, and now sitting here like I'm done with my first professional season and so much has happened, and whether it was, making the national championship game or getting the Fever back to the playoffs since 2016.
It all began at the NCAA championship when Angel Reese made sure everyone was watching her by making fun of Caitlin Clark in a way that could only be described as excessive, such as pointing with a finger and a ring. What ought to have been a celebration of her team's victory was transformed into Reese's own viral moment.
But the fact that that's the very first WNBA player to ever win Time Magazine Athlete of the Year is pretty special.
However, months later, Caitlin Clark is leaving with the kind of acknowledgement that really counts. Athlete of the Year is more than simply a participation medal. It's a declaration that you were the best during that time. Additionally, Caitlin has something that seems to hurt much more than Angel Reese's championship ring.
I don't think I'm surprised. I'm curious to know who the other candidates were.
It's not that Angel Reese wasn't good this season. Her stats were impressive, and her impact was undeniable. However, Caitlin Clark is a player you can't take your eyes off when it comes to transcendent talent. She doesn't just score points. She controls games, delivers precise assists, and drains three-pointers from ridiculous distances. Caitlin's domination was based on skill, namely why and poise, rather than ostentatious gestures.
I would say I really love those.
Let's not act as though this is unexpected. Caitlin was the obvious favorite to win the award because of her stellar play throughout the season. She averaged over 27 points per game and essentially carried her team on her back, even in games where Iowa lost. Meanwhile, Angel's name is frequently mentioned for her acting rather than her outstanding on-court play. The difference is that when people think of Angel Reese, they focus on that now-famous taunt rather than her defense or her comebacks. Caitlin Clark's game spoke for itself. She didn't require showmanship to remain relevant. Angel appeared to rely more on controversy than skill, and while that strategy might make you popular on Twitter, it doesn't win you the respect of the larger sports community. Naturally, the internet didn't waste any time commenting on this development, so the media is where karma comes to life, and the remarks were unsurprisingly harsh. Another person speculated that Angel Reese was finger-pointing in order to witness Caitlin Clark ascend to the throne. Caitlin demonstrated her superiority without a ring taunt. Oh, how cruel the memes are. Although Angel's supporters may attempt to defend her, the story has already been written.
No, I think it's great, not just for her. I think it's great for the league.
Yeah.
Right? Like everybody talked about the recognition that she brought to the W this season. So for her to be Time Magazine Athlete of the Year, I think it's really great for the league.
And what about Angel herself? Up until now, she has remained remarkably silent, leaving you to wonder if she is crafting a response that minimizes Caitlin's victory without coming across as too resentful. Let's face it, Angel has never been good at being subtle, but perhaps this time she realizes that there isn't much she can say. Some of Angel's fans are naturally furious, accusing the system of bias and bringing up old arguments about race and double standards, but let's face it, Caitlin Clark earned this award. It has nothing to do with politics or favoritism. It is about the performance Caitlin delivered game after game, and the world noticed.
I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. A lot of those players in the league that have been really good have been black players. This league has kind of been built on them. The more we can appreciate that, highlight that, talk about that, and then you continue to have brands and companies invest in those players that have made this league incredible, I think it's very important. I have to continue to try to change that. The more we can elevate black women That's going to be a beautiful thing.
Not to mention the narrative that Angel attempted to promote following the NCAA championship by reminding everyone that LSU had won the title using the "It's a team game" card. But the truth is that individual brilliance still counts. Unquestionably, Caitlin Clark made a significant contribution to LSU's victory. This award simply acknowledges that Caitlin was the season's standout star. What makes this whole situation even more satisfying is Caitlin's reaction, or lack thereof, as she hasn't glow, taunted, or even acknowledged Angel Reese's antics from months ago. Instead, she has remained humble and let her game speak for her. That kind of grace only makes her win more deserving while Angel was busy playing for the cameras. Caitlin remained committed to basketball, which is what really counts.
She got the cookout, but when you hear that, thoughts on Caitlin Clark saying she wants to use her platform to elevate black women in the WNBA have been instrumental, obviously, in building that league.
While Angel Reese is undoubtedly skilled, there is a distinction between being a competent player and having generational talent. Caitlin Clark is the type of athlete that will be discussed for years to come. Her sense of flair, her accuracy, and her capacity for dominance under pressure, everything separates her. Despite Angel's brief period of fame, Caitlin has left a lasting legacy. The question now is how Angel will react. Will she let this go, or will she make it into yet another drama-filled spectacle? If history is any guide, she will likely lean toward the drama because controversy keeps her in the spotlight. However, this isn't just another Twitter debate. Caitlin Clark is being immortalized as the best of the best, and no amount of finger-wagging or ring-pointing can change that.
Who has a new weekly podcast called Unapologetically Angel. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be? But she is young. She's only 22. And the reality is the scrutiny that she's been subjected to is inexcusable, it's egregious, it's disgusting, it's wrong.
But regardless of how Reese presents it, the reality is difficult to deny. Caitlin Clark recently left with a prize that solidifies her reputation as one of the greatest. Reese's viral moments may have brought her temporary fame, but Clark's accomplishment is the kind that endures. What makes this even more satisfying is Caitlin's quiet confidence throughout the entire ordeal. She didn't need to respond to Reese during the championship game or become enmeshed in the drama. Instead, she let her performance speak for itself, and now she's reaping the rewards. That kind of grace under pressure is what distinguishes great players from legendary ones.
You know, when you're talking about, athlete, you're talking about her college run.
Yeah, the run she had last year.
Her college run
into her rookie year to now, to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, the women's college tournament, I believe,
all the
significant
eyes she
outperforming.
brought to the league this year.
Yeah.
Outperforming the men's.
Oh, shit, yeah. You got to think, yes.
Yeah.
Right, as when you say Asia, you got to be like, well, that's in a W. Caitlin was college and W.
Isn't it nearly poetic, Angel? For a brief period, Reese was the show star and the name on everyone's lips, but now that everything has settled, Caitlin Clark is the one holding the trophy, leaving Reese to consider her next course of action. Actions speak louder than words or taunts, as this entire saga reminds us. Despite becoming a global phenomenon, Reese's antics failed to garner her the respect and attention that are actually important. However, Caitlin Clark demonstrated that the secret to sustained success is competence, diligence, and humility.
Angel Reese, you can't beat a big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed.
What does Angel Reese learn from this? For Caitlin Clark, it's a moment of validation for everything she's worked for that cemented her place among the best. And for the rest of us, it's a front row seat to one of the most fulfilling manifestations of instant karma we've witnessed in a long time. It's a lesson in humility that she probably won't admit to learning anytime soon. Caitlin Clark had the final laugh during the championship game, even though Angel Reese may have had the final word. Honestly, isn't that what matters most? The fact is that Reese has always positioned herself as the queen of college basketball, but it must hurt to watch Caitlin receive recognition. This particular recognition emphasizes Clark's individual brilliance, and when Reese realizes how much her team has accomplished, the jealousy factor is evident.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why. Everybody has an opinion. on what happened in that game.
Intensifying the burn even while Reese didn't reach the Forbes 30 under 30 list with all of her viral moments and loud confidence. Caitlin Clark did, and her quiet domination and game-changing performances were sure to touch a chord. Forbes values potential and genuine impact rather than just giving out places for showy actions. Clark's inclusion on such a prestigious list further solidifies her as more than just a basketball star. She is a cultural icon in the making. In contrast, Reese's story feels stuck in the past. She is still defined by that championship game and her taunting moment. Caitlin, on the other hand, is moving forward and creating a legacy that goes beyond the court. And let's not pretend that Reese wouldn't want that recognition. She isn't shy about loving the limelight, but now she must watch Caitlin enjoy it. It's one thing to be overshadowed on the court, but it must be painful to watch your rival receive praise on sites like Forbes. Caitlin Clark is demonstrating that diligence, talent, and humility can triumph over showmanship, and Angel Reese must find this conclusion to be as painful as it is inevitable.